All right, so Mr. Ken, VALOR Coin, welcome into Gucci's Crypto, guys. And would you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and VALOR Coin?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having us, Gucci Lounge. Appreciate you. Look forward to talking with you guys, answering your questions after we get done with our introduction. I want to thank the VALOR team, who's a team that's helped me work the VALOR bare knuckle to this point. Been tremendous help. I want to thank them, appreciate them. The GREED team for their support, with the coin and everything we've been doing. They've been a big help, so I want to give a shout out to them. Thank you. And Captain, wow, he just basically moved us up to the front of the line, So I appreciate all the hard work and the help that he gave us, along with the team that he brought in to support us. So we've developed a great strategic partnership. So I'm going to let him kind of talk about some of the partnerships. We had some really good things happen in the last couple of days. So we're very excited for that, but I'll let him talk more on that. But Cap, appreciate you, man. Thank you. Really appreciate everything you've done for us. I've been doing these AMAs for a few weeks now. I hear a lot of talk about community, family. That hits close to home with me because of kind of the way I was grown up when I was real young. So it means a lot that people care enough to want to bring in good projects and good people and protect the space. So that's important and really appreciated that. But with that said, too, I also want people to know who I am and where I came from and the vision that I had going into this and bringing it to where it's at now. And introduced my business partner, Maddie, to it at one point on building the structure around VALOR bare knuckle, the business structure. So, let me get right into it. At the age of 10 years old, I had been stabbed. I had strong arm robbery at the age of 10. Yes, I said 10. From the time I was 10 to 13 years old, I was in and out of placements, in and out of juvenile hall, anger, frustrated, violent. I ended up at the Shamrock Boys Home at the age of 13 years old after going through a lot of ups and downs. So 13 years old, I ended up at the boys' home, and first thing I was doing was fighting and getting in trouble. And my mother and father now, who adopted me when I was 18, Bob and Dee Dee Shamrock, hence the last name Shamrock. But I don't want to go that far ahead. Go back to when I was 13. I first got to the home. Most people thought I'd be dead or in prison before I turned 18. Thank God that didn't happen. But because I was that kind of personality and character, I was frustrated and fighting. My mom and dad wanted to put me into something that would help me vent that anger and frustration into something positive. So they put me in football and wrestling. And it was a great thing because I was able to do everything that I would have done on the street within the rules and hit people with these plastic helmets and plastic shoulder pads and just hit guys so hard, make them blow in snot bubbles. Be able to wrestle and slam people on the mat and just taking that aggression out. But I had to learn the rules, right? The only way I could do that is if I stay within the rules, which is a big part of my life, staying within the rules and being aggressive. But I learned that at that age going through school and understanding that all of a sudden at the time I was a junior and a senior in high school, I was popular. I was relevant. Before that, like I said, I didn't have a future, man. It wasn't a good look for me. I wasn't going anywhere. But because someone cared enough to take that anger and develop it and push it into something positive, all of a sudden now I had a future. And so I took that into college ball, played some football, did well, ended up wanting to go into pro sports and make some money. So I went to Mooresville, North Carolina, pro wrestling circuit out there. Joined that. Within a year, I was a heavyweight champion. Had an opportunity to go to Japan. I went to Japan, wrestled up there for a while, and then got an opportunity to join this organization called Pancrase, which was the very first mixed martial arts league before UFC, before Pride, or before anything ever started. This was back in 89, 90, 91. And so I joined it. And I'm always moving one thing to the other because I'm thinking this is going to be good. So I jump into it. And so I jump into this thing that was really a straight up fight. So I didn't know, I was always tough. I always knew I could fight. But now I'm going into professional fighting. And I'm going to get paid for it. And that was an important thing. So I go in there, and I remember they did this 2-day tournament, 16 men from all over the world to fight in this tournament to crown the first champion. I won that tournament. Everything was set, man. From where I began to where I was comfortable. Life was great. And then this thing called the UFC came out in 93. Now, nobody knew what UFC was. Nobody knew whether it was popular or not popular. I didn't even know what it was, right? I seen the advertisements on it, and I remember looking at it going, oh, my goodness, like, they can do that? Like, I seen these dudes kicking and punching each other on the ground, and I'm like, that's radical, man. And I remember thinking to myself, that's like watching a car crash. Like, whether you like it or not, you're going to look because you want to see what's going to happen next. And that's what it was to me when I saw this, and I went, I want to do that. Now, mind you, I'm set. I'm in this organization. I'm the face. I'm there. I'm good. But I saw this and I was like, I want more. I want more. This is going to be popular. In my head, I'm thinking it's going to be big. People want to see this. So I risked it. I went away from Pancras, went into the UFC. And of course, now we all know what it is, a $10 billion company. And I was the face of that company. I was the first American champion, ground zero, if you will. People still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Lost my picture, I think. But anyways, yeah, ground zero, if you will. Not only that, but ground zero, it's hard. You guys can hear me, right? Oh, there we go.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, so what I got, ground zero, if you were the first American champion, first inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame, inducted into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame, and I was inducted into the Wrestling Hall of Fame. And then another one I got into was the San Diego Hall of Fame, which Arnold Schwarzenegger actually signed the certificate with the Hall of Fame I was inducted in. So when you think about where I came from, all the things that I did and ended up where I was at, I was able to put it in something constructive. But with that being said, I was still young. There was still more to do. And I understood I'd done everything I could do in the ring. I just wasn't done yet. I wanted to do more. And so I kept thinking to myself, I've always wanted to try to do something in the fight space if I was going to do an organization, but I wanted to be disruptive. I wanted to be different. I wanted to add more excitement to the fans and also add more action to the fighters. And so in order to do that, I had to go back into my career and start looking at some things that, especially during the times that I fought and listening to the fans, that I knew that I could change to make it more exciting for fans and fighters. And so one of the things I did was I remember the fans talking about when they were watching the fights on how hard it was for them to literally look in between the fences or ropes or turnbuckles, whether you're sitting on the floor or you're in the stands. It was like you were always trying to look through something. And it was frustrating for the fans because it felt like they were separated from the fight. So I thought, wow, why don't I just take it down? Like, have nothing there. We'll build this bout circle, and it'll be completely open. And a lot of people think, well, wow, man, how are you going to keep them in and fight? Well, trust me, as a fighter, if you've got to force somebody to stay in and fight, that's not the fighters you want. So we took those down. And then I wanted to go and think about how, especially my experience in fighting in the UFC, one of the things that frustrated me the most was when I was fighting and it was no rules and, there was no gloves. It was bare knuckle. When they put gloves on fighters, after I fought a few times, I was frustrated because it felt like they were cheating by putting gloves on. Because when you put a glove on the hand, you're putting a glove on the hand to protect the hand, not the head or anything other than that. You're protecting the hand. And what that means is that if you got a guy that goes in there and just starts throwing haymakers and just swinging hard for the fences, and he lands punches in your head, he's not going to hurt his hand. But if you take those gloves off and take the tapes off, now the guy has to ease up on his punches and he has to be more accurate with his striking. And for me, that was more like God-given talent. Like, instead of rewarding people that weren't very accurate with their striking, we want to reward people that are professional strikers, accurate, and they're going to be rewarded for that. So when we took the gloves, and safer, let me explain, with medical proof, it's safer because your brain isn't taking as many shots to the head, because without gloves on, you can't throw that many. So it also makes it safer, which was a big point. And then when you go into it, I remember thinking, now, how do we keep the fight faster and more exciting? And when you watch boxing or any kind of striking, the one thing you look at is, when you watch a fight, the thing that frustrates me the most, and I was a big Mike Tyson fan, was that every time Mike would go in and start plowing on somebody and hitting them and get ready to knock them out, they grab them, they clinch them, and slow the fight down. And I thought to myself, man, that's cheating. That's another way for people to get out of trouble without having to fight. So we're taking clinching out. And obviously, that's going to take some time for guys to understand you can't clinch. But with our rule sets, they will learn very quickly. So when we put all of that into place and we did our first fight, it was just a knockout. And from one of my business partners in VALOR, Matty, his quote was lightning in a bottle. And that's exactly what it was, lightning in a bottle. But we have to have a business built around that. And that's where my business partner, Matty, came in, was that he was able to kind of build some business structure around it, along with my vision to move this thing where we are now. But at the same time, when we did our fight, COVID hit, so we wanted to slow down, try to build our structure, go through some stuff, tighten it up. So he introduced me to Steve, and then Steve came up and actually helped me set up the thing behind me that you have all my belts and everything behind me. But then I got a warehouse full of other things, and we were looking at the NFT space. We were also looking at the crypto space, and I invested in it early on. And I just kept thinking to myself, there's something here that we can put together. And I remember thinking, as we were doing stuff for my NFTs and different things like that moving forward, I kept thinking, like, there's something here with even the OGs of guys that fought when I fought, bringing them back and getting them under the VALOR Sports banner and doing NFTs for them, because they've already built a career. They've already done it. And I just kept thinking how we could do something like that. And while we were going through this, another VALOR team member introduced us to Cap. And when we were introduced to him, there was some same kind of synergy there, where he was working with artists and Greed. And they were trying to do the same thing and try to protect the artists, and being able for them to be able to keep getting rewards and protection from the big corporations. So when we did that, I felt like there was a great opportunity for us to take the crypto space, NFT, if you will, and the combat space and bring it together. And that's kind of where we are right now with VALOR and Greed. Any other partnerships that we brought in to start doing that. And I think that for me, being able to have it safer for the fighters when it comes to VALOR, and then being able to protect the fighters, because they got 3 to 5 years to really make any money, to be able to protect them even after they're done fighting, for them to be able to keep being a part of this organization, and most of all, be able to keep them connected to their fan base even after they're done fighting. And to me, those are things that have really set us up with Greed and Cap and some of the structure they're doing with their artists. So I appreciate you guys listening. I'll answer your questions later on, but I want Cap to have an opportunity to jump in and talk a little about his vision and some of the tokenomics. Thank you.
Hey. Thank you, Ken. So this is Pete Parente, Captain Awesome. I'm the lead developer of Greed, but I'm working hand in hand, and our whole team is with the VALOR team. And I'll just start off by giving you guys one. Let's get into the token real quick. So we modeled it after Greed. There's 1 billion tokens. That's going to be the supply. The tokenomics are, it's going to be a rewards token. Just like with recording artists, we found out the athletes like getting rewards, and we're going to be giving the rewards in BNB. So the tax is 15%. Of the 15%, 8% is going to go to rewards in BNB, 4% to the marketing wallet, 2% is going to go to liquidity pool, and then 1% is going to be a buyback, which is then whatever is bought back will be used for incentives to either incentivize games or signups or just rewards back to holders. One of the cool things about one other thing too, we've already had it audited. It's got a tech rate security audit. I know sometimes the question comes up, but sorry, make it loud. But it's already been audited and it's passed through flying colors. You can see the audit on the website, ValorSportsCoin.com. And then some of the cool things that they're getting from us being able to work together is, one, we've already created our swap. And right now, if you guys look, you can see that Valor, if you go to the GreedEcosystem.com, and I'm driving, guys, I don't know if there's someone from my team that could drop the link in there, but we started out where we're going to be launching Valor from the Greed ecosystem. We bring a lot to the table, and we call it the Greed ecosystem. But right now, they're in a private sale. It's 30% off with a 3-month lock. You can get it through the Greed ecosystem. Also, with our swap, it's going to make it easier because the tokens are already loaded in. So when someone wants to buy it, they don't have to go find the contract, paste it. They'll be able to go buy it right through the Greed ecosystem with it being there. The other cool thing is the day they launch, they're going to be able to stake because we're launching our vault here in the next 2 weeks. So when Valor launches mid to end January, the day they launch, you'll be able to stake their tokens and start getting rewards back. So they're already going to have utility out. Some of the other benefits that they have from working with us is he talked about protecting the fighters. There's many ways to do that, the same way we look to protect recording artists. But, when we were trying to figure out ways to do NFTs, and the question came to me from the business end of so Greed has a recording label. We're the first crypto music label. We got Cool and Dre, who are Grammy award-winning producers behind us. One of the questions was, how do we protect and make sure people get royalties? So without me being a tech guy, I hire them. So without saying, yes, we could get guaranteed royalties, I went and I asked the question of how it worked. And we found out that there was a common misconception. Right now, if you go to Rarible, OpenSea, or any platform, and you're an artist, it doesn't matter what you're minting. You mint your work, you get paid what you sell, and then you build in those royalties. And if you build in 10% royalty, it was under my impression that 10% was forever. And that is true, but halfway, because it could be forever unless it trades to a platform that doesn't honor the code anymore. And if it does, you lose your royalties. So, it would be horrible. You see some of these things now, CryptoPunks going for $30 million. Imagine being the artist. Your piece of art goes for $30 million. You think you're getting $3 million for your 10%, and you lost the code was lost, and you don't get your royalties. So right now we have our techs building a custom NFT platform, and it's going to be the first one that will guarantee you'll never lose your royalties. You'll be able to trade amongst different platforms that honor the code. It'll be whitelisted to go to them. You'll be able to go to Rarible or OpenSea, but if someone tries to move it off to another platform that doesn't accept the code, then you won't be able to transfer it. So they could still trade. It'll have to just be amongst platforms that, like I said, that honor it. So that's another advantage that they're going to have. Then if we go to next level, everyone's talking about the Metaverse. It was something I was really big on when we came out. And Greed's only been out for a month and a half. But if you go back to May, I was talking in May about how we needed to get property in the Metaverse. So, Ken mentioned that there were some big developments. The first thing wasn't even the major part. We thought it was. So go back when we first came out, we were able to buy property in Decentraland. We bought basically a 6-parcel estate and a 9-parcel estate. What that equates to in Decentraland is a 6-story building or a 9-story building. With that, we're going to be able to build our recording studios and an amphitheater. One of the big things about the amphitheater is going to be that we can live stream not just concerts, but the fight. When Valor BK has their first fight in April, end of March, beginning of April, which we're working on right now, you'll be able to go in with your avatar and watch it in Decentraland from the Greed Amphitheater. Plus, since we're working with recording artists and they're working with athletes, we thought may as well put the galleries together, have everyone walk through. They can see recording artists, athletes, or any of the big names that are doing the collaborations with us. So throughout both buildings, we're going to be able to support that. And then what Ken's talking about, though, that's developed in the last couple of days, and my press release just came out today. Over the last 2 days, we finalized this. And if you guys haven't looked at TCG World launched a coin, I think, back in September. And in the second quarter to third quarter of next year, when they release their Metaverse, what I could tell you is, if you look at it, you could see it and check everything out. It's well beyond the technology that Sandbox or Decentraland have. They're more of a 2D type Metaverse. TCG World is 3D. The graphics and the development that they're doing is the next level. So we've actually went into with them with a strategic partnership. So GREED, and if you guys know Wall Street Bets, the guys who got behind AMC and GameStop, they're now behind GREED and VALOR as well. So if you guys get a chance, go to tcg.world and you look on the map, or if anyone could drop it in the chat, you'll see that they've given us huge commercial plots. I don't even know how to equate what the size of the plot is, but basically Wall Street Bets has one, GREED has one, and VALOR has one, all in connecting areas. So we could do a huge collaboration where TCG is going to do everything we've ever thought about and wanted to design in there. And they're doing that just because they know we're bringing all the big names in. We're like their marketing, so they're going to build out the best thing ever. Plus, part of that deal is they're going to build out Decentraland for us. Why? Because when people see that what we have built in Decentraland was built by the architects from TCG, it's only going to promote them more. So there has been a great strategic partnership with us. We've had many relationships working. It's a lot different than anything that you guys are going to see on the BSC level. And when people say, well, why are you launching BSC? I'm going to tell you exactly why. Not because it's a BSC coin, but because the fees are low. And one of the things that I noticed when I launched my first token, which is part of the GREED ecosystem, no abandon. I have Baby Doji Inu. He's GREED's pup. He's part of the world. He's part of everything. Was some of my best investors were only able to invest a few dollars. Just because they didn't put in a lot of money doesn't mean they didn't work. I have people, I see them, they put in $3 here, $2 there, and it only cost them a penny or two. So we like the idea that the fees are so low in Binance that even people that could only afford a little bit of money are able to get in. So, we look at it as not being Binance coins, but you look at us and go, hey, there's GREED and there's VALOR, and this is where they trade. TCG World also has, it's a multi-chain platform, but you can pay in Binance as well, so you're not getting killed with gas fees. And our NFT platform is going to be a multi-chain NFT platform. So I don't know. We've got a lot going on and a lot of new developments that keep happening daily. But I think I'm going to leave it off now just in case. I probably covered most of it. Might have missed a few things, and if not, I'd like to see what you guys have for questions at this point.
Yeah. Well, like both of you, Captain and Ken, you guys went pretty much through, I would say, majority of the things. A thing that I have in my mind, like connections do really mean a lot. And I cannot hide that. I'm sure that you have a lot of connections. As GREED itself as a platform, you have a lot of exposure to other people. Ken itself, he has connections as well. So I love coins that do have connections because they can bring a lot. Something I have in my mind is regarding your dev. Do you have an in-house dev?
Yes. Well, I'm considered the lead developer, but if you go to greedtoken.com, so basically on VALOR coin, they've got marketing experts too, and tech guys. You've got, we just kind of like summarize to get you through quick, but remember, VALOR itself, it's a company already. Most people bring out a coin, then try to bring out something behind it. VALOR already is a living company that's had a fight, everything built out successfully, and they have top tier techs and marketers. So right now, you could go on my site, you can see like we're all doxed. I got my devs doxed and everything else. We're working hand in hand with Steven and Andy, who are their techs, and basically going to help them launch the coin, show them how to do it, teach them it. We're there to fully support them in everything that they need, but eventually they're going to be the devs behind the coin. But at any point, we're still always there to work with them and help them. It's a good strategic partnership.
I believe so as well. All right. So something that got me a bit confused is your seed raising rounds. Can you break down to us how many fundraising runs do you have currently? As far as I know, you're having the actual private sale, right?
Right. We call it a private sale, but it's open to the public. It was easier to say private sale than pre-sale because we don't know what you'd call the first one. So it's a private sale. It's max. The hard cap on that is 750 BNB. The pre-sale, and again, by the time we get to the pre-sale, we're looking to base it on a penny. So wherever, and that's why it's going to change how many BNB and what it's going to be, but it's going to look to be about $1 million worth of US dollars at a penny. So however many BNB it is, as we know, that could fluctuate 40% from here. We don't know. So by the time we get there, it's going to be based on a penny for $1 million. With the private sale, the tokens are going to be distributed. So you're basically going to get 30% more. So we're launching at a penny. You're going to basically be launched at 0.7 of a penny. So you're going to get more for your money. But with this private sale, this early funding where you're going to be locked up, the lock is from when we launch. The lock is for 3 months. And this, we've created our own code for this because it's a rewards token. We wanted to make sure everyone could get their rewards. So you are going to be delivered your tokens right at launch, and they're actually locked in your wallet, the ones from the private sale. They're locked in your wallet. The BNB rewards are available, and it's really set up for the diamond hands. We reward the people that are looking to hold for us. When people say, I get this question, what are you guys going to do when the 3 months comes up and everyone wants to sell? What we've learned with the psychology behind it, I did the same thing with greed. Anyone who's going to hold for 3 months, they're really the diamond hands. Anyone that's willing to hold, they're not looking to get in and get out. They believe in the project. They buy into the project, and that's why they're there. Plus, with everything going on, I'm going to bring up another point to jump in on real quick. That the one thing, we all look at marketing, and I just want to give you guys an idea that we're going to be doing all the traditional marketing coming up to the launch. We're going to have PooCoin ads because PooCoin does work great for pre-sale. Everyone in BSC wants to get into a pre-sale, so we are going to do the historical same type of marketing. We budgeted about $3,000 a day for PooCoin ads for the 2 weeks going into the launch. There's only a few influencers that are kind of worth it for crypto at the time. But here's the cool part, something to think about. The fight, like we said, next fight, it's going to be in April. So that gives us 3 months. January, February, and March to start marketing for the fight. The fight and the coin are going to be the VALOR BK, the physical, fighting part, and the coin are going to go hand in hand. When we market for the fight, they're marketing for the coin. So this is a good point where you actually have that there's a full marketing plan that has to be put into place just for the fight, and it promotes the coin as well. And then to the next level, Ken wanted to do this to protect the fighters, to build them in, to give them coins for the future. So now, every fight, like I've asked the question, how many fighters are there? There's going to be 30. Here's the cool thing. You now have 30 influencers that are going to own part of the coin that are going to basically shill their own bags. So that's built into it. You're not hiring people. You're paying them for a fight anyway. Then the next part of that is with fighters, whether you guys know this or not, you got to think now, they have fight clubs. They have fight teams. Now, Ken had the original one, the Lion's Den. He actually did create the first fight team that was out there, the Lion's Den. Now they're all over. Every one of these fighters belongs to one. So not only is it the fighter that's going to be promoting this fight and supporting himself, but they're going to have their whole fight team behind it. And I mean, I'm down here in South Florida. I see Gracie Barra Jiu-Jitsu. I see American Top Team. So I know these guys are all over the place. So there's a lot of exposure that's coming in from marketing, which is cool because it's not just marketing for the coin. It's for the company that markets the coin in turn. So that's something really big to consider, especially, we always wonder when marketing. There's a lot of marketing. Every fight's going to have huge marketing.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And, Shamrock here. This guy's a maniac. Yeah.
Thank you. I think
it's really lovely. getting out of the regular business space, getting out of the regular marketing, those things, they're really dried out. I mean, nowadays you don't achieve a lot with marketing in the crypto spaces. I mean, you need to get out of that. And that's why that's the thing that I like about Valor, because you already have that, guys. You don't have to be tied up here within the space. You can go big out of it, and I love that.
Well, this just to let you know that that's something that we think that's going to be real beneficial, because if you think about it, over the past 30 years that I've been involved in sports and professional, I've developed a lot of relationships along the way, whether it be through acting or, different sports. People were either fans or we became friends, or I worked with them. So there's a lot of those things that will be brought into the ecosystem, which is brand new people that will not or probably wouldn't have the chance to come into this ecosystem because there's no reason to do it. But when they actually have a fan base of these different celebrities that are going to be coming into the space because we'll be inviting them in, or that we'll be doing projects with them, they're going to be bringing hundreds of thousands of new members in, each of them bringing in new members that want to see what they're doing and be able to follow their celebrities into this space. So we see really a huge opportunity to do that. And we have a system in place that makes a, how-to kind of video for people to actually get a one step by step to be walked into getting a wallet and different things, so that we're able to help them in the process to get into the system. So we look forward to that, and we think it's going to be a great opportunity to grow the space.
Yeah, and guys, another thing, again, I just like to reiterate, because, we see Ken and we think fighting, wrestling, and all that, but, it's Valor Sports. And what I can tell you is, going back to how we've set up the NFT platform to guarantee royalties, and the other big thing we're doing is, how to split the wallets for the royalties. If you go to the other platforms, they were mostly made for like one artist or an artist to do a collaboration. But like for us on a record label, sometimes that royalty has to be split 20 different ways. So we had to do that as well. And from a business aspect, most people think about approaching the athlete individually or the celebrity individually, but they have to remember, they don't make a decision or really can't say, hey, yeah, I want to do that project unless it's approved by their agents or their managers. So one of the things we've done is we've built this on the business end so that we could promote to the managers and say, hey, your royalties are built in. We've done it simply where you don't have to distribute to your athletes. If you guys ever have a bad relationship, you don't have to worry, because we have it all built in where the blockchain takes care of it for you. And the reason I'm saying that is, at our first fight already, we've got guys out there looking structure and bringing people in. We're already looking to do NFT collaborations. And when I say looking to do, it's not like we're just reaching out. We're talking to people like Patrick Mahomes, who's interested in doing a collaboration. We have people on our team that have a contact to him. We've got a lot of Ken's OGs. The reason I'm bringing up Patrick Mahomes is I want to mention different sports. We're talking to Ray Lewis, even about doing one of the fights in a facility that he's partners in and bringing him in, like the first fights in Miami. Ray lives down in Miami where I'm in South Florida. We're looking to bring all these people in and get NFTs of them. One of our guys yesterday was at an event talking to Ray Lewis, Makembe Mutombo, and, from the NBA, and like people from all over. So again, when they're involved and they have an NFT or a collaboration, they're marketing for us, because they're basically going to tweet about their NFT. I mean, it's their fans that are probably going to spend the most money, buy it. They got millions of followers. So again, it brings it to where the utility now is the marketing arm. So all the way around, it really is a win-win. And that's, what I loved about talking to Valor is that's how I built it with the recording label. When we bring out a recording artist, when we come out, I can tell you this, in the beginning of January, if we don't do it over the next 2 weeks, we know what our first big song is. And our first song that we're launching as a crypto label has 4 of the, iconic or historic names in music. We got 4 of them together on one song purposely for the first song so we could come out big. So when we do that, we're not hiring influencers. We're not paying influencers. We're actually making money off a song and making our people money for being able to have part of it. So, both of us together, are not even just marketing individually. The more we bring back to ourselves, people are gonna see Valor, and when Valor brings people in, they're gonna see Greed. That's why we thought, you know what, most people are trying to compete with each other out there, like it's each crypto for themselves. But we saw like not only we're not going to be taking market share away from each other, we're going to be able to help each other, and we've got some other strategic partners we're working with that will help market this to an even bigger level. It's a new way to look at it. Bring value, work together, and keep all the credible guys together. And when everyone keeps figures out that just because Elon tweets doesn't mean there's going to be any value in a token, they start getting smarter and looking for value. This is where they're going to come.
Right. Great. Something there's a question I saw here in the chat was about TX listing, but I went through your website. I know that you are aiming for listing on centralized exchange in your third phase, but if we're speaking as in quarters, which quarter will that be?
Well, what I can tell you is if you look at roadmaps and stuff like that, we've got to put it out to stretch it, but we're always pressing the issue. I mean, I could tell you I had, not even looking at the small ones, like just to give you an example for Greed, I don't even know if we put a centralized exchange, I had to put it on our fourth quarter, but in the week we came out, we listed on 2 exchanges. We listed on XT and, I don't even know, XT and Hotbit or whatever it is. I could tell you today, or what was it? Yesterday or today, I don't remember what day it is. We got a lot of calls. I was talking with the guys from crypto.com. Basically, they're looking to sponsor partnerships, something else. So, these things can go sooner. We have because of the people we work with, we have many contacts at different areas and do have bigger names that some of these exchanges are more interested in bringing us in versus some of the other tokens that don't have the big names. And a lot of them now are starting to compete more and even throw grant. See, we're not just looking at getting listed. What we're saying is, what is it worth to you to bring us to your exchange? Even like now, Binance is willing to give out money for people to stay there because now there's so many other exchanges coming out. They're willing to pay the higher quality ones, put millions of dollars behind their projects to keep them there or move them there. So, before it was, how do you get on an exchange? Which was great because remember, most of those tokens had no real value. Now we're going to them saying, well, what can you offer us to go to your exchange? What kind of exposure, what kind of marketing, and what kind of money? So regardless of what is out there, we are go guys. I just told you all the stuff that Greed did. We've been out a month and a half, and these are all the things we've already accomplished as far as this. And, we're working hand in hand. And like I said before, too, Ken and Valor have the same exact opportunities and connections that we do because we're working together strategically. So it's hard to say because we're always going forward. I mean, do we really want to go right to a centralized exchange? I like keeping it decentralized for a little bit and building up the value first, but we're getting there real quick. So I would say probably it would be better second quarter next year after we launch on TCG World. Because if you guys take a look, pay attention to what we're doing with TCG World when our trailers start coming out, and you'll see what we're talking about. Because we're going to have a lot more at that point for people to be wowed by.
All right. And speaking of the metaverse, I mean, I understand that you will be having you will be having exposure in TCG and as well as in Decentraland, right?
Yeah, well, in Decentraland, we have a modest, I said we have 2 buildings, which I thought was really cool until I saw how much TCG World is giving us. In TCG World, what we're getting built out for both of us, I mean, they gave Valor, us, and Wall Street Bets each a plot that's the size of a state, basically, in reality, to where I have 2 buildings in Decentraland because, it's expensive. And it's not that it's not expensive there. What we were given was millions of dollars worth of property each and the development teams behind them because they see us as a big draw to bring people to their metaverse. That's when you take a look at the map and you see how big our plots are compared to what's there, you're going to say, okay, I get it. Because it's all relative. Like the smallest speck on there is a small farm. And we've got a huge plot. It's all shown right now on the map. Like I said, if you go to tcg.world and go to the map, top left area is Asia. they call it Asia, but it's just, you know, they named them Asia, East. I forget what the other ones are. You can see what we have in relation to what's there. So yes, you got to be in Decentraland. That's, I hate to say it like that, but that's for the ego. And since we're big, we got to be there. But we're looking to basically tell people in Decentraland, go to TCG to see the experience there, because we're going to have so much more. You know, I know we've been giving them the list of things that we want to build out. I can tell you for Valor, I was like, we're going to have them build for the bout circle. I mean, just to give you an idea, it was, hey, duplicate the Roman Colosseum in the olden days, but make it a little bit more modern with lighting and cool stuff, and put the bout circle right in the middle. So it's you know, the guys are fighting like gladiators in the bout circle being built there. And it's also the cool thing about what TCG is doing for us, they're gamifying everything. So, you know, you get your avatar in there, but once you step into the bout circle, now you can actually fight. I mean, you're not going to be fighting on the streets, but you're stepping in the bout circle to be able to fight. You know, the other thing we're doing is, we talked about Ken and the Lion's Den. Well, you know, an idea we had was, and not an idea, they're building it, was building a huge stone lion. That's the building. Because remember, there's no rules in the metaverse. We could build whatever we want. So imagine a huge stone lion laying down with his mouth open, and you walk in through the mouth as the entrance. You know, the mane could be a flame. I said, see if you could do about making the eyes glowing red. And inside there is Ken's history and all his stuff. And you go walk over and have a video of Ken pop up and explain those parts of his history, and you get to see everything there. Like, that's two of the things. And then I forgot what else. I mean, we got so many things that we were putting in there, and that's just for the, you know, TCG. We're gonna have our recording studio. We're gonna have our we're having our recording studios live streaming. We're gonna have our an amphitheater for concerts. Before in Decentraland, we're kind of sharing a smaller space to live stream, you know, our concerts and Ken's fights, and it's gonna be a lot more modest compared to like the no rules area we have in TCG land. I mean, we're building out for Greed. We're doing a whole bunch of stuff. We're doing a whole South Beach row of buildings, and that's where the recording studio, all the art galleries, and all this stuff are. We're building out Greed's mansion, because but you know, Scarface, Tony Montana's mansion. That's going to be Greed's mansion. They're going to do a replica of Scarface's mansion and put it in there as Greed's mansion for you to tour around and see all Greed stuff. I mean, I've got Baby Doge Inu's going to have his own mansion in there. If you look at just all the things that we're working on right now compared to what we get from Decentraland, are huge. And that's what I'm saying. You know, Decentraland is 2D. When you see what TCG World is doing, it's next level. Like, if you have to see something cool, you definitely want to go to TCG World. It's just going to take about 6 months for them to officially come out. But by then, we're going to be the staple in there. But we're still going to have Decentraland. Why? We want to be there. They got Louis Vuitton. They got Sotheby's. They got Atari. They got Nike. They have all the big names. So at least we get our exposure there. But then we can show everyone how cool everything's going to be to move over to TCG.
Man, amazing. I mean, I really love everything. Can't hide it. I mean, I've heard of TCG, and you know, sad thing about me is like, I know of TCG since their first version, because I think that the current TCG is actually a version 2. And
yeah, 2.0.
Oh yeah, definitely. Then I found out about it in back in August, and trust me, man, I do regret missing out on it. I do.
No, you can still get in there, man. They still got cheap. It's funny. Everything sold once they saw us in there. All the plots, like right around where Greed was, all of our people bought. Once they put us up on the map. It's seriously in 2 days ago. But they still have like a whole world, like where you could get a farm for one BNB. You know, if you go to Decentraland, you can't buy anything. Like, what people don't realize in Decentraland that I found out is, if you're not getting like a 4-parcel estate, you really can't do anything. Like, people that think you just buy a parcel and it's worth something, that's like saying, you know, hey, I'm looking at property. It's like I'm in Florida, right? So in Florida, you can buy something that's waterfront on the ocean, or you could buy something in the middle of the swamps in the Everglades, and it's not the same land. And that's what people don't realize with Decentraland is, some land, even though it's all based on mana, that's how it was until it's all bought. Once people buy it, now it's up to them what they want to sell it for. So then there's strategic areas. So if you guys get a chance and you go to greedtoken.com and you scroll down on the map, it shows our plots and where we are. they're strategic. The strategy and where you want to be is right by one of the pavilions. The pavilions are, Decentraland areas you don't build and people can meet up. So we're 2 steps away from a pavilion, both of our buildings. And also being on a road in Decentraland is like waterfront property in the rest of the world. So both buildings are corners on a road, and they're both 2 steps away from a pavilion. So yeah, even what we have there is great. And I thought it was amazing until we just struck this deal with TCG World. That just changed. That was a game changer.
All right. And but maybe I will ask. I will let my partner Aaron ask if he has any questions, because he did not take any part of this AMA. But before going on to that, just a last thing I have in my mind is so basically, yeah, Valor is looking to have exposure in those metaverses, but is Valor actually looking at it having its own metaverse?
Do you mean being like it's like Decentraland, its own Decentraland?
Exactly, being as an entire metaverse project, like instead of having that exposure only being in their metaverse, but also like having your own. Like,
well, you know what? I guess the easiest way to answer that is you have to think, if you realize like the metaverse is to be built in the teams, that's really tough. That would be a whole different project. So I guess the quick answer to that would be no, because that's a whole different type of business and a whole different ball game. But the other part of it is the parcel's so big that, again, we're talking about like the size of I don't even want to say a small state, maybe a medium sized like state or a province or something, where there's so much that could be built, that there's so much area that people, be up to Valor to bring in who they want. Just like us, we've got strategic partnerships with some other people that were like, hey, yeah, no problem. Like they can't get the land. I'm like, yeah, we'll build a gallery on our property. We got plenty. We'll bring in this person, bring in that person. So, and we're both connected too. Our properties are connected. There's so much that we could do. And on top of that, like today I was talking to, like Ja Rule. We were talking about music stuff, and he was like, oh man, that's cool. He's like, oh, we have to have, because so Wall Street Bets is right next to us. I don't know if you guys know Ja Rule from music, but he's like, New York and all that. He's like, man, we got to do Rule York. I'm like, well, I'll talk to Wall Street Bets. Maybe he's doing Wall Street built up in his property. If he's got any extra room, just put Rule York. Now we got Ja Rule there. We got Wall Street Bet. So there's ways to incorporate other people, or they could get their own. The cool thing is we're all good about working together, but Valor's got so much land. I mean, I don't know where you guys are in the world, but like, where are you guys from?
I'm in Germany.
Okay. Well, our property might be the size of Germany. I don't know. I don't know how to relate it. But when you guys go, you can see, because, like I said, if you see on the map, the smallest little speck there is a small farm, and then you see how big how we get a whole just area. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in there right now, and I'm watching it. Yeah, I mean, it's really huge compared to the other.
And then you see that other one. So this is how big it is. You see how there's 3 of 4 of them, and there's the one black space in there?
Yeah.
The black space is not for sale. This is what he's going to build, is a whole city and a metaverse in there, so that people can like do all kinds of stuff inside like a whole city and a whole world, and basically have it. So like I said, it's close to us. We're like his marketing. Like, oh my God, you could be close to Valor, Wall Street Bets, and Greed. So yeah, he's TCG is keeping that, and they're going to build a whole world inside that other black square just to bring people in.
Crazy. I mean, it's really crazy. Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's pretty nuts. Yeah. My farm is very small. You can see on the picture my little green dot in comparison. I don't think I have any questions right now. Everything's been so well explained. And you've gone through everything that I've thought of, to be honest. Does anyone...
We try to be thorough.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah. Does anyone else have any questions? Who's in the chat?
Yeah. I do have a question.
Sorry, mate. I think your mic's a bit. Gucci, can you mute?
Yeah, sure, sorry.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Go for it.
Yeah. You made mention of the NFT marketplace. To mint an NFT, what would be the requirement that the holder will have to or the minter will have to hold the coins, the native coins or BNB?
No, you're not to be able to use. Anyone's going to be able to use the NFT marketplace. The good thing is it's going to be a multi-chain platform. It's going to come out where you can choose to mint on BSC, Polygon, and Ethereum. We're going to have the availability for all of those, and it's up to you. We just want to bring people over. You don't have to use our coins for it. Greed does have a rewards coin that you'll be able to use for it, but no, you can just use any of the native tokens that are that. And people ask, why did you do a multi-chain for it? However people want to mint it. We're going to probably be minting some stuff with Polygon. I think that's where Greed's going to do it. You want to save money too, you can go with Binance. And if you want to throw your money away on minor fees, you go with Ethereum.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Matic seems really popular. Right now.
It's getting there. Yeah, it's getting. You know what it is? So we just launched a rewards token that you're going to get for staking Greed, and this goes into one of the things we're doing, and it's taken a little bit to come out. When we wanted to do a rewards token, you could do it. You could do your own token and give it back and when you stake. But most people don't think about this. If you're staking a token, right, and you're excited because you're getting back this huge APR or APY, well, you're basically getting flooded with that token, and it seems good in the beginning, but really what the token's doing is hurting itself down the road. Or if it's a mintable token, they're minting. It's a mintable token. They're minting more. Now you're just flooding the market. I mean, everyone's trying to burn stuff to get a better value. So, we had the option of doing another token, but I thought, listen, the BSC stigma, as much as I said, I don't want another BSC token. So when I told my techs, I said, listen, I want to be able to mint. Initially, I said like an Ethereum token. And then what we came up with, because if you go again on my site, my team, Dan Cohen-Leaf, he's friends with the owner of Polygon. He said, well, we could probably get some marketing for them if we do a Polygon token. So what we came up with is you're going to stake Greed. You can even stake Valor, and you're going to get this rewards token. The name of it's $. It's out. It's on Polygon. We just put it out because you're able to use it to boost your staking when it comes out. But it's a Polygon token that's bridged to Ethereum. And the reason we did that is so that, it's Polygon, you use Polygon fees, but if Ethereum 2.0 comes out and the minor fees go down and it makes sense, you can turn it into an Ethereum token if you want. But if the fees don't go down, why would you want to waste your time? Just keep it on Polygon. So we did that something cool, but we are going to be the first group, because all the techs out there, as I was asking, you said you can't do it. You can't do it, you can't stake on one chain and pull out on the other. And my answer was, I don't really care what you have to do, make it happen. So we're going to be the first platform to provide that as well. And again, I wanted to do it. So in our system, you can stake Greed, we have Valor working with us because we're all together. You'll be able to stake Valor for the $ token. And then you can use that if you want to also pay for them. So, you can be getting free tokens to do it. You can use your Polygon, you can use your BSC, you can use your Ethereum.
Sounds bullish. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and also too, I just want to make sure that you understand that we're going to be doing fights. We've got 4 of them planned in 2022. So this is gonna really, one's going to help the other. So it's going to be exciting when this thing kicks off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about the marketing and stuff like that. It's crazy what you guys have got planned. Okay. Has anyone else got any questions? Otherwise, we'll look to wrapping this up.
Yeah.
You've got a question? Go for it, mate.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Hello, Valo team. I congratulate you. First of all, I have to congratulate you on this project, because I believe you guys have planned for it for long and you're just coming out with it. So now my question is, when you were talking about your presentation, you didn't really mention about your smart contracts. So I want to know who developed the smart contract, and has it been tested? Has it been run? Are you assuring us there will not be any form of challenges or difficulties when you guys are doing your private sales? There are some issues. There are some
Absolutely.
issues.
So if you want, if you go to greedtoken.com and you scroll on, you can see the team. You can see our techs and we're all doxed. You can see me, you can see all, because it's our team that's working on it. So basically the Valor token, it's not I don't want to say it's just a fork, because we created something special to be able to lock tokens in the wallets so people could get and the reason we want to do it as a couple, not just for the private sale, but like we want to be able to give a fighter, or if we're going to give someone tokens and we want to make sure they're going to work for it as well, we lock up their tokens, but they get their rewards. So we did do something special with ours. Ours had its tech rate security audit, pass flying colors. Then our same developers, this is in-house developers, had to change the contract because with Greed, we had 2 buybacks because I have 2 tokens. The other one is Greed's pup, Baby Dojino. He's part of the ecosystem and our whole big thing we do. So they only had 1 buyback. So even though, the Valor token is not out yet, we've still already had it. This token itself, not just ours, it's structured a little different. It's its own custom one. And you can look on the site, it's already had, the tech rate smart contract security audit as well. And it's our techs are top notch, but the security audit proves that. So yeah, it's all covered. Everything we do, we get audited, checked out, and we've got a top tier tech team all doxed on the site too.
All right. Yeah, and one of the questions I want to ask is about the NFTs. The valuation of NFT depends considerably on the scarcity and the perception of. You said perception of the buyers. You said investors will be able to mint their NFTs on your platform, I guess.
Yes, it'll be just like an OpenSea. So we're doing the Greed NFT marketplace. No. So yeah, you if you want, listen, we're gonna have our own and collaborations we do. Valor's going to have their collaborations, but we've built a platform for anyone that wants to use it to be able to go set up their own page and use the platform themselves.
Okay. Since NFTs, there has been a lot of cyber security and fraud, whereby someone has to keep on minting and buying for himself and to always increase the value of the NFTs. So what are the strategies you guys are putting in place in case such scammers or fraudsters will not be able to perform this devilish art on your platform?
Well, that was one of the reasons why we're not out yet, because we could have copied any of the open source code that's out there. And actually, if you again go looking at our team, Gordon on the team is the one building. He's the main developer building the site. Gordon has his own amazing site. Pi Protocol that's out is Gordon's project. So the reason we don't have ours yet is we have special coding that is more for security. And listen, we're going to have to run the audit on it, but right now it's one that's guaranteeing that no one can get in, no one can move it. We're taking everything that NFTs have done steps further for security and guaranteeing royalties. That's why I don't believe in just using something because it's out there. I like doing everything, not just next level. And just, guys, so you understand, I'm 47, and I came here I was a special ops Marine until 1997. Since then, I've been an investment banker. I've been a business consultant, and that's what I've done is investment banking and business all these years. So when I came in, this wasn't just to launch a coin and make money. It was to build something with value solid behind it. So that's why, like what I'm telling you, that we made sure we found every hole that was out there first, hired the top tier techs we could find, have them build everything that covers those holes technologically, and before it is actually launched, it's all audited, tested, and done. And that's why I said these are all, our team, everyone out there. We're not one of those groups that you don't know who anyone is. All our faces are there. My social media is there. We're all out there. Even all the techs are on board on the team.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned earlier about creation of studio. Has it been done, or is it something you guys are proposing to do?
It's being built right now. We're building. So what we're building is, because we have, Cool and Dre are Grammy awarding producers. I have Greed Music. They're producing music for that. We have recording artists coming in, but they also have a physical recording studio. And inside the big studio, there's two awesome studios. So we're going to be live streaming into the metaverse from the real studio so that you can see the recording artist working in the studio live. And that's being built right now. So TCG is building that for us in TCG and Decentraland. They're doing both of them for us. So that should be done, I'm going to guess, by mid to end January. And we're also going to have the amphitheater. We're going to have, it's all being built right now. I can tell you right now what we're building is Greed's Mansion, the recording studio, the Lion's Den for Valor, the Coliseum with the bout circle for Valor. But now, guys, the stuff that we're doing in TCG World will not be live for everyone to go to. We'll be able to show you it. You'll be able to see it. But TCG World doesn't go live until second quarter of next year, could be third. So we will have our Decentraland stuff ready and built probably by end of January, which is going to be plenty of time for like Valor's fight and us to do some concerts and then start streaming some of our recording studio in there.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, two more questions about the studio. Now, are you guys partner with? You said you Dre is part of you guys. So, are you also looking out to reach out to so other musicians in the world that could partner with you? And second question is, okay, now are you looking at those who have the ability to sing, who have the stage, but they don't have the stage to showcase their talent? Are you considering them in this your project? And if it's yes, how do you want to bridge the gaps?
All right.
You know, there are some people that could not sing. That could be staying far, maybe other African countries, other Asian countries, but they don't actually have the ability to come close to you physically. So are you creating a medium whereby they could interact to you? Maybe when they make a music, they could send it to you, and you guys will be okay, this is one of the music that could blow you, something like that.
Yeah, so Ken, I'm just going to take that one quick. So remember, guys, we got two here. We got Greed and we got Valor. So Valor is all sports, but you know what? This is why I didn't get into the whole. Remember, guys, I didn't get into the whole end of Greed because this was the Valor AMA. But what I can tell you is, yes, absolutely, we're doing something like that. We're doing like American Idol has American Idol. We're doing the first crypto idol, but we don't know if we could call it that yet. We're working with our trademark people. What I can tell you is, we will probably announce that we are taking applications from all over the world for that, because we're going to do that through, I think, like a YouTube live. I forget again, I'm not the tech guy. However, we're going to stream it, but we are going to tell the world we're taking in applications. Basically, you send it digitally. We see what you got. And we do have artists actually from all over the world. You know, they have, I forgot who was their last producer. We did have a producer in the studio from Africa a few weeks ago. But yeah, we're looking for everyone around the world, and we could do that now more than like an American Idol could, because we're not making you come to the stage. We're going to do it online through there, and we'll stream it at first, through like a YouTube live or something. Then we might stream it in the metaverse. It's really going to depend. We're looking at which way to do it. We're going to make sure that the community's involved as well. So that was part of why we want to do this, was to, one, involve the community, and two, be able to, find the diamond in the rough, find those people out there. And even if they don't win the contest, we know that they're good enough to set them up with different producers in certain areas and make that match. So that's exactly what you're asking, is exactly what we're doing. And we're definitely going to take that to the next level, because, you don't know what's out there. And the only way to find it is to be able to open up that we can find them.
Sorry, I was muted. That was awesome. Yeah. All right. I think we should probably look at wrapping it up here. I mean, me personally, I'm very bullish on this, and on Greed Token now. But I hadn't actually looked into before, so I'll definitely check that out after this one as well.
Well, I could come back in another time and do a full Greed AMA for you.
I'm sure you could, man. Yeah, well, if you want to, man, we can do something for sure. Be more than happy to.
Yeah, that won't be PG-13 though.
Yeah, I watch my language more for when I'm working with my other tokens. I'm a little more raw with all mine.
We're pretty laid back here. We wouldn't really care, I'm sure. Well, no, it was a great AMA. So thank you very much, guys. Yeah, definitely check out Valor and definitely check out Greed as well. If you guys want to post the telegrams, I'll post the telegrams here. Have you got Greed's telegram as well? I'll post that as well.
Yeah, if someone can put, I'm sorry, I'm like in a car. I had my son driving to something. I was stuck in a car ride for this one, and I'm a computer person, so I'm not good at moving stuff from my phone. So hopefully some of our people can pop that in there. And our teams, we all work together. So that's the thing. Greed and Valor, we're basically, two different coins, two totally different things, but together as, family and team.
Agreed, man. If one's going to help the other, the one does well, it's going to definitely help the other do well. So I love this strategic partnership that we have, and look forward to the future because it looks good right now.
It looks like you guys are working really well together. So, and you've got the same sort of idea and vision of protecting people and protecting, your clients, really.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So let's wrap it up here, then. Again, thank you, everyone. And I say the telegrams are in the Telegram. So just hop over to them and check them out and say hi.
Awesome. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you for having us, and it was a great AMA. Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care, guys. Great AMA. Take care.
Cheers.